Why would a dentist want access to Alberta Netcare Portal? This was a really good question that I was asked from one of our members. They wanted to get a better understanding about what Alberta Netcare Portal will do for them in their dental practice. So there are a couple of things that I want to be able to share with you about Alberta Netcare Portal and what are the benefits to you in your dental practice. Imagine that you've got a patient who has come to your practice. They have some type of an urgent care issue and they need some treatment done. If you have concerns about the patient's health history, a dentist or a dental hygienist can access the Alberta Netcare Portal to view the patient's history of health concerns and the current medications. So if your patient is not really good about providing a medical history, if you need to do treatment now and you don't have time to call the GP's office and call the pharmacy to be able to pull the health history together, or you have reason to believe that perhaps their health history isn't as complete as it should be, then you can access the Alberta Netcare Portal to be able to find the supporting information that you need to be able to provide a treatment and a clinical decision for this dental patient. Now, Alberta Netcare is a health portal that is a province-wide electronic record system, and it is operated by the Minister of Alberta Health, and there are lots of information that goes into the Alberta Health Portal. Now, the backbone to the Alberta Netcare Portal is the registration information. So this is available for residents of Alberta who have a PHN number, a personal health number. So when you register to get a PHN number, a healthcare number in Alberta, then Alberta Health takes that information about your name, your date of birth, your address, perhaps your family members, and that becomes the backbone for the Alberta Netcare Portal. Then other agencies provide information about you to the Alberta Netcare Portal so that authorized users of Alberta Netcare Portal, including dentists, dental hygienists, pharmacists, physicians, chiropractors, and a variety of other healthcare providers across Alberta, can have access to information about those individuals. So information gets uploaded to Alberta Netcare Portal on a regular basis from most laboratory departments. So anything associated with Alberta Health Services is generally uploaded to Alberta Netcare Portal. The public health results for your COVID screening is uploaded to Alberta Netcare Portal. If you go to diagnostic imaging, if you get an x-ray for your sprained wrist, that gets reported to Alberta Netcare Portal. For all of those services provided from Alberta Health Services and most of the private diagnostic imaging departments or businesses across Alberta. Now, it's not everybody, but most of those services across Alberta do report those results to Alberta Netcare Portal, as does your community pharmacist. So when you get a prescription dispensed from your community pharmacy, it gets uploaded to Alberta Netcare Portal. Now remember, if a patient goes to a family GP office and the physician prescribes something, but they don't get it filled, then that doesn't show up in Alberta Netcare Portal. So it's only those things that are dispensed. Now, if they are receiving medications from an inpatient or perhaps an outpatient department in a hospital, it may or may not show up in Alberta Netcare Portal. There are some gaps in the information that's in Alberta Netcare Portal. If Alberta Health Services has done a transcription report, so if a surgical report was done or a specialist consultation report or a cancer care report, most of those are going to Alberta Netcare Portal. Again, not all of them, but most of them. Now, there is a gap in the information. The clinical information from our family physicians' offices, from private specialist consultations, from our dental practices are not yet going to Alberta Netcare Portal, but that's part of the rollout plan for Alberta Netcare Portal. So we'll see that come on board across Alberta over the next several years. But for the most part, if you're looking for confirmation of registration information, lab diagnostic imaging, and prescription information that's been dispensed, you will find that for your patients on Alberta Netcare Portal. So the Alberta Netcare Portal is a secure portal that is accessible to authorized custodians under the Health Information Act who have also gone through the onboarding process and the enrollment process with Alberta Netcare Portal. So it is now available to dentists and dental hygienists. Now, dentists and dental hygienists in Alberta have been named as a custodian under the Health Information Act since 2010, but access to Alberta Netcare Portal is relatively new. So I want to share with you what the steps are if you are a dentist or a dental hygienist in Alberta who want to have access to Alberta Netcare Portal. So the first step is that you need to have your policies and procedures regarding health information, privacy and security. And those are the rules governing the access, collection, use of health information. Now, you should have that already in your practice about your day-to-day collection, use, and disclosure of patient information in your dental practice. But specifically, you're going to need to make sure that you've got those policies and procedures and as it relates to Alberta Netcare. So if you want to have access to Alberta Netcare, you need to know how the information is being collected, how you can use it, and how you can disclose information from Alberta Netcare Portal. So you need to make sure that your policies and procedures are up to date. You need to complete a privacy impact assessment. So you need to complete a PIA for your dental practice. So if you haven't done this already, you need to do that as part of the prerequisites for Alberta Netcare Portal. There is also a PIA that you might also need to do for Alberta Netcare Portal. So the good news is if you already have done a privacy impact assessment for your organizational management of your dental practice, the next step to do the PIA for Alberta Netcare Portal is a very small incremental step. If you haven't done your PIA at all for your practice, it is a requirement under the Health Information Act. It is a prerequisite before you get access to Alberta Netcare Portal. And if you need some help about how to do that, contact me at informationmanagers.ca and I will help you with your privacy impact assessment requirements. The next step is to train your team on privacy awareness. So this, again, is something that you should be doing in your dental practice anyway, but you need to make sure that you've got a privacy awareness training program that's well documented, that it's current, that it's up to date, that your staff are up to date with that, including your dental team professionals. So your dentists and dental hygienists, as well as your front desk staff and your billing staff, need to have privacy awareness training currently. So make sure that you follow the notes in the show notes here, and I've made some recommendations about privacy awareness in healthcare training specifically for dental practices. Now, the next step number 4, is that you need to make an application with Alberta Netcare, the eHealth Network Support Services team. So you can take a look in the show notes, and I've got the link for you. So get the prerequisites done and then contact Netcare to that application to register for Alberta Netcare. You need to do a PORA document with Netcare. So this is a Provincial Organization Readiness Assessment, or a PORA document. So this is the risk assessment that you need to do in your practice before you can have access to Netcare. We want to make sure that everybody who has access to Netcare, everybody who wants to come and play in the sandbox, has the same good best practices about protecting the privacy and security of patient information, including the computers and the technical systems that you're going to use to access Netcare. We know that it only takes one bad apple or one bad computer to inject a virus into the system. And we don't want that to happen with Alberta Netcare Portal because it would affect the entire health system in Alberta. So we want to make sure that everybody has good practices before they have access to Alberta Netcare. Now, the good news for you is that if you've done a privacy impact assessment recently, you'll have all of the information at your fingertips to be able to complete that PORA document. The last step is to sign an information management agreement and review the informational exchange protocol with Alberta Netcare. And Alberta Netcare eHealth team will help you with those steps. So in step 4, you're going to actually register, and then the eHealth team will help you with those last few steps before you get access to Alberta Netcare. Now, a follow-up question, if you are practicing in more than one dental practice, do you need more than one Netcare account? Well, yes, you do. So you need to have a Netcare account for each location that you're practicing at. So if you are working at independent dental practice A and independent dental practice B on the other side of the city, you will have 2 Netcare accounts. That's easy to do. When you log into the Netcare website, you just select the appropriate clinic that you're working out of. If you are working for a chain of dentists in dental practices, you might only need one login. Each organization will be unique, and Netcare will help you set that part up. But if you are working in multiple practices, generally you're going to need multiple Netcare accounts. That's easy to do. Just follow these steps. If you've got any questions, take a look in the show notes, and I'll be happy to help you with some links to get you started. And you can contact me if you need some additional help.